Good morning, Philadelphia Eagles fans, and good morning, NFL fans, to Week 17, the final week of the 2017 football season here in Philadelphia. Where this week, statistically, our Philadelphia Eagles play a meaningless game against the Dallas Cowboys here before the playoffs start, which we're all excited to get going, especially since now officially the NFC playoffs come through Philadelphia. Because our team has the number one seed, currently sitting at 13-2, the best record in the NFL. Now there's plenty of talk about, especially with our game last week on Christmas night against the Oakland Raiders. Our Philadelphia Eagles, yes, we did win 19-10, but there's plenty of things to take away from the game and to improve and see change for our playoff run. And I like to do it this way this week. I like to hand out 3 awards. I wish they were all just spectacular, but let's just be real. We're football fans. We understand how the game is played. So if I were to take out 3 major awards, we actually have 2 negative and 1 positive. Well, the first award would be the Toast Award. This award goes to Jalen Mills, where we all know Amari Cooper burned him for a 64-yard touchdown where Jalen Mills bit once again on the double move. And it almost cost us big, where we held Oakland to 10 points, but that could have been the difference in the game. Where until late, the score was tied 10-10. The next award I would like to give out would be the Rick James Award. Yeah, I know. The Rick James Award. The Give It To Me Baby Award. Our defense stepped up huge with lots and lots of turnovers in the second half that we needed in order to kick a field goal late and then ultimately score a sealing, game-ending touchdown on, I think it's like the second time in 3 weeks where the team's trying to stay alive and lateral until Derek Barnett picked it off and ran it in for a touchdown. The reason why the score was a whole lot worse than the actual play of the game. But then the last award is an indecisive award, and this award goes to Nick Foles. Sad to say, some things came out of his game that's very concerning. One of them is his indecisiveness on picking his targets and just going with it. And you see that with the double clutching of his throws and staring down his wide receivers and not sure if he wants to throw specific balls at certain times. And it costs us. It costs us big time. It almost cost us huge, to where a corner almost picked off a ball and should have ran it in for a touchdown. And luckily, it bounced off his hands, probably due to the cold weather like I'm dealing with right now. And we're able to stay in the game and ultimately win. But this week we play against the Dallas Cowboys. And I say statistically a meaningless game, but it means something to us. It does. But first, talking a little bit about Dallas. This is a team that its direction is very, very odd. We all know that they went 6 games without Zeke. Their identity is a little lost because they're a team that really much depends on the running game. But then they saw their number 1 wide receiver, Dez Bryant, pretty much lose them the game last week against Seattle, where either if he's fumbling it, not getting open, having balls knock off his hands and turn into interceptions, just flat out hasn't produced. Dak Prescott in the last 2 games, yeah, he might have about 400 yards passing. The guy has no touchdown passes and 4 interceptions. That's not good. And yes, Zeke did come back. He almost rushed for 100 yards, but the Dallas Cowboys have not looked the same. They have not utilized Cole Beasley that well. I think he only had 2 catches for like 12 yards last week, which is not normal. Jason Witten, yes, this guy is a future Hall of Famer, but he is getting older. So now it just seems as if the Dallas Cowboys are headed in the wrong direction, which for Eagles fans, we like that because we don't want to see Dallas be successful. But being a football fan, you want to see teams change and evolve and try to stay on top of their game, because I love tough competition, because iron sharpens iron kind of thing, a tough team that Eagles would have to play would help us stay that much sharper against other competition. And Dallas looks like they're actually getting weaker. But we'll see what happens next year when we're back to normal and see how they draft and see if they stay with a player like Des Bryant. But for our Eagles, and what I love about this is our season right now is not defined by how we play in this last game against Dallas as far as wins and losses, but it's defined on how we intend on going into the postseason as the #1 seed. And there's things that we definitely have to do, and it starts, I think, with the defense. So the top comment from last week goes to Robin Davis, and how the leader of this team right now is Malcolm Jenkins. And he understands that the Eagles have to play inspired football and have to make things happen on defense, because right now, especially with what happened last week, it's not happening on offense. We understand that. So the defense had to step up. Edelbry looks like a new starting middle linebacker, and we had to get turnovers, and we had to be opportunistic and get interceptions. That was what we have to do in the playoffs. Good playoff teams, great playoff teams play solid and great defense. But then on offense, we have to do things different. We have to find ways, because I watched the entire game and saw how the Raiders played us, and with two deep safeties over the top, making sure we don't beat them deep. We have to have a solid running game. We have to trust it, and we have to keep doing it over and over again. And we have to run Jay Ajayi. We have to run Corey Clement, and we have to run LeGarrette Blount in that order. But we also have to get more creative about getting people the ball into the backfield, like Nelson Aguilar, running in the back, because what happens is, the more creative you get in the backfield, it causes for that other safety to come down inside the box, and then you get one-on-one coverage, and then you can pass to somebody other than Zach Ertz. Then you can get Torrey Smith in the game, or bigger, you can get Alshon Jeffrey in the game. But last week, he went without a catch, and that's concerning. Just when he started getting chemistry with Carson Wentz, that went away, and so did his production. Last but not least, other than the coaches getting more creative on how we do this team, does rest on old Saint Nick. Nick Foles, you have to get more decisive with what you're going to do on the field. You have to dictate to the defense what you want to do and not the other thing around. You have to pick your targets. You have to look off the safety and then pick another target and go for it. And you can't be backing up, throwing it out of bounds and taking sacks. You just have to play inspired football, because our season depends on it. And yes, I'm a huge Nick Foles fan, but we need better play. Well, so like I said, and yes, oh my gosh, it's cold this morning. I love this week because we have the opportunity to just try things out with zero consequence. And to regain our identity, regain our swagger, regain our confidence heading into the playoffs by how we game plan against the Dallas Cowboys this week. Now, this might not define us as a team, wins and losses, and where we're seated in the playoffs, but you better believe I would love the unnecessary cherry on top to sweep the NFC East this year and to go into the playoffs in a positive role by beating and sending home in a loss the Dallas Cowboys. So let's end this holiday season the right way. Let's end it in a victory. Let's end it by regaining our confidence. Let's end it with the win over the NFC East. And let's get prepared here in Philadelphia to host the playoffs and bring things back to where they were just a few weeks ago, where we're playing complete team football, complete winning football, and move that much closer to bringing a football championship back here to Philadelphia. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's to all my Philadelphia Eagles fans, all my NFL fans, and thank you for the 2017 football season. And last but not least, for the regular season, let's go Birds. Let's go Birds, baby. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles. Beat Dallas and put on some sleeves. It's